I was asked by Ben to sort of set a bit of a background to this, and I'm afraid we can't start without looking at what's happening now in the present climate, because we're dealing with a new government. We're dealing with a government which is committed to massive public sector cuts, and a star chamber to oversee cuts. I haven't actually heard the detail, but I know that there was an announcement today about the pensions in public sectors, which quite a few of us depend on, and that there is a whole process that's taking place which is about a very unhelpful change. And a lot of this rests in historical terms. This isn't an accident. This government isn't doing what they're doing just because somebody, they might have thought it up on the back of a cigarette packet, but I think they're doing it because they have a plan. And it's a very vicious plan which is rooted in neoliberal economics, and it goes back, if you're interested in these things, to the Chicago School in America in the 50s and 60s. And one of the things that happened, if you're old enough to remember Thatcher, and I know one or two of us are, we remember what she did to this country and how she introduced a compulsory privatisation programme and sold off a lot of nationalised industries and so on and so forth. And that was one of our greatest exports. We then exported that to a lot of other countries. We exported it to Chile and General Pinochet and Argentina and other places like that, and to the rest of Europe and New Zealand. And what's happening now is you've got a system where they're deregulating markets, they're taking away the controls that existed on a whole variety of things, and the most noticeable one, which unfortunately the Labour government carried through, was the deregulation of banks. And that's one of the prime reasons why the world was in such a financial mess and on the verge of collapse. But they've also extended the privatisation of public assets, industries and services, and they're about restricting social spending, public investment, and in addition they're about trying to expand reduce the amount of tax that the higher income people pay. Very interesting. I think those of you who follow this, you've got a cabinet with 17 millionaires who are lecturing us on the need for cuts and austerity. And there's 5 times more millionaires than there are women in the cabinet. They've appointed a man called Philip Green, or Sir Philip Green, who's the overseer of the efficiency drive within the public sector. Now, I don't know if people know Philip Green or know much about him. He used to own a lot of companies. He used to own Arcadia, Burton, Miss Selfridge, a variety of others. He doesn't anymore. He handed them over to his wife, who lives in Monaco. So that's a tax haven. He doesn't pay tax on the profits from those companies. And he's the one advising us, or the government, on public expenditure. I feel really angry. And the more you kind of look at what they're doing, it's about the redistribution of wealth. And I think that fits exactly the programme that we're talking about today, about fair play and so on. And across the world, these haven't loaded properly, so I'll have to apologise for that, but across the world, in Europe, we've got austerity, and one of the things that's important is that international trade unionism provides an alternative to that.